Okay, here's a very quick starter guide for Misery. Everything I wish I knew the first time I got started with the game, somewhat in order, from easy early game stuff to more advanced things. The dev is super active at updating and improving things. The main mechanics will probably stay the same, but a lot of little details we cover here might change in the future, so we'll see how long this video stays up to date. But first, please do the tutorial. Stop thinking you're too cool for school or something. It takes literally 5 minutes and has all the basic starting info you need. I was browsing a bit the Discord to check what people were struggling with and see if I missed something for this video, and at least a third of the questions asked there could have been solved by just doing the tutorial. I've seen at least 4 people asking if you can rotate items in your inventory. Like, come on, it's right there. Okay, let's get started. Do not get too hung up with the starting minigame where you have 60 seconds to pick up stuff before hiding in your bunker. It's not really important. Go upstairs, grab some clothing and equip it right away. It will let you carry more stuff in your pockets. Grab a melee weapon on the table and that's it pretty much. If you find some anti-rad meds, great, but this is all you need. Everything else is useful, sure, but you will find plenty in the world. It's just bonus stuff at this point. Don't stress it too much. You can store stuff in your workbench when you get started, but just leaving stuff on the ground in your bunker is perfectly safe. It's not gonna despawn. Even much later in the game, I still have so much stuff on the ground. We really need a way to recycle and scrap items or sell more of them to the traders. Anyways, there's a couple flashlights on the shelf above your workbench. Always grab one before going out, because seeing what you're doing at night is kinda important. Your bunker entrance is always on the east side of the map. So let's say you've been looting for a while and got completely disoriented, not sure which direction to go back home. You take out your compass. It's kinda hard to read, but this is north, south, east and west. There's a reason your character is holding it this way, with east pointing in front of you. That's because your bunker is always east. So if you align the needle with the north, you just have to run in the direction your arm is pointing at pretty much to find your bunker's entrance. You might not get there exactly, but it will be on this side of the map, so you can just hug the wall until you find it. Don't forget to save. There's no autosave and no prompt to remind you when you're leaving the game to do so don't forget to save regularly to not lose your progress. The days are around 20 minutes long. I shouldn't say days because it's from leaving your bunker to the next emission where you have to go back. You actually go through a random day and night cycle during this time. At around 15 minutes, you will start hearing thunder to let you know you will have to go back home soon. And at around 18-19 minutes, the emission will start. And you have almost 2 full minutes to make it back home, which should be plenty enough most of the time. I got into the habit of starting the day with the locations that are pretty far and do as many trips back as I need back to the base. And I save all the buildings close to the bunker for later in the day, so I never get surprised by a storm far from home. And if you're really pushing the limit and think you can't make it back to your base, you can still hide with the traders, by the way. It's perfectly safe there. Campfires are great to heal. I always carry a lighter with me in case I find one. You can't craft them though, you need to find them in the world. Large backpacks are pretty rare. If you can't find one, keep trading junk to the traders until you can afford one. It's a giant time saver and makes you much more efficient. And you will be able to carry items that are too big or too heavy regularly. Large backpacks are mandatory to handle some of the bigger items actually. And you can start hauling furniture back to your base, for example, which is the way to do it. Do not craft furniture, just steal it and use your resources to craft more useful stuff. Also, try to start artifact hunting early. The detector is very easy to craft and a lot of artifacts are really useful. And you can sell the not so great one to traders for very good money. Get into the habit of checking every anomaly field you cross for them. You just follow the sound of your detector and watch the needle go all the way to the right until they pop up on the ground pretty much. It's nothing complicated. Just be careful because just like the rest of your loot, they drop on death. So make sure you never put yourself in a position where you won't be able to loot your body back before the next emission. Every day a plane is going to come bomb you for some reason. If you don't have a place or shelter to hide close by, just start running immediately perpendicular to its path. It's plenty enough to avoid the bombs. You know the famous scene from Prometheus, right? Well, it's this all over again. Just don't be like that. The game progressively gets harder and unlocks new seasons and locations to visit with time. By day 5-6, the helis and radar location will start to appear. It's good to try to have a gas mask by then, or repair some of the bandits' hazmat suit. By day 10, it will be mandatory to have decent radiation protection to visit the city, and by day 20, the underground bunker can start spawning. And here, having very good radiation protection and good weapons and a lot of ammo is a must. But again, if you're not ready for those, don't worry about it. The whole point of the game and fun is to slowly get better gear to explore all these new locations. Not being ready and failing and having to work towards something is the whole point, and everything will come back to be tried again after a while. And it's the same thing for the harder enemies. They probably will kick your ass the first times, and then you will come back to get revenge after a while with better gear. I like to craft and repair everything by myself, but after you learn which items the traders buy and what's good to bring back to them, you will have plenty of money to buy whatever you need. Besides weapon, obviously. You cannot buy weapons. Electricity is pretty straightforward. Early on, you can hook up your generator directly to whatever you need. You fill it with gas and that's it. As soon as you get your hands on some wind turbines and batteries, you pretty much do not need anything else. You can hook up a ton of batteries together, they slowly charge non-stop with the turbines, and it's enough to run your base without any issues. And a basic setup is pretty much free. You can find the wood turbines in some houses' sheds, and the car batteries and cables are pretty much everywhere, and then you can craft some updates later. I generally skip using the generator altogether and just sell all the gas I find to the traders for money. The dwarf generator is a good way to get rid of all the vodka bottles you will never use for energy, but it's more of an early game gimmick. For example, right now I'm on emission 50 something, so pretty far ahead in the game. I still have this mishmash of a bit of everything, coming into combiners, then into batteries. If you played games like Rust, for example, it's very similar the way it works. Then everything comes to two series of batteries that goes into splitters, and the splitters pretty much go to everything I need, like the workbenches, the lights, and that's it pretty much. I mean, technically yes, I have plenty enough to craft a couple accumulators and a ton of solar panels, for example, but it's not really necessary, everything is working perfectly fine so far, so yeah. You can smelt scrap for iron bars, which is very useful in a ton of recipes, and wooden garbage will give you ashes that are useful for gardening and crafting gunpowder. If you wonder what an item do, just read the description. If it has a specific use, it will tell you most of the time in there. Every time I see a well, I like to come back to it with some plastic, fill a ton of water bottle this way, and as soon as you have a chemical table, you can purify the water, either to stay hydrated or for crafting recipes. It's a very useful thing to do. Generally, I will craft the sewing machine first, so I can repair a gas mask to start exploring everywhere, and the next thing I craft is the chemical table, to purify water and for gardening. You can find the gardening pots in random houses, no need to craft them. You put the seeds you want to grow, poop or ashes as fuel, and that's it, you just start growing. You can turn any vegetable back to seeds in the chemical table, which basically makes you self-sufficient very easily in terms of food. I mean, food is never really an issue. I mainly do it to sell the vegetables to the trader. It's a very easy way to make a lot of money. And I just check all the garbage cans I find, because, well, there's garbage there, and you turn it into ashes in the incinerator for even more gardening. These type of anomalies are teleporters. You can jump into them and they will teleport you in a random place. It's generally safe and you can find some good loot there sometimes. I wouldn't do it if I had a lot of good stuff on me, but you can try. Generally it ends up okay. And I think that's all I have in mind for now. If you have some good tips, please let me know.